I don't even have it in front of me. Live? Good evening. This is an in-person special meeting of the Bridgeport Board of Education. It's Tuesday, February 25th, and it's 6:30 p.m. We're at aquaculture. I'm gonna get this right, guys. Aquaculture school. Today, do we have any student reps online? We're gonna skip that over that. We don't have anybody signed up for public comment, so we're going to approval of meeting minutes. Let me take roll call.
Let's put, oh, no, you don't have to put on that, sorry.
Yeah. I'll do roll call. We have, or Mr. Benahan, you can do roll call. Thank you.
Christine Baptiste Barris. Akisha Casimir. Marisa Estremera Jimenez. Mr. William Medina.
Here.
Ms. Jennifer Perez.
Here.
Mr. Joseph Sokolev. Mr. Robert Traver. Mr. Andrew Watson. I'll say. And Mr. Benahan present, sorry.
Okay, we have a quorum. The first item is approval of meeting minutes from the special meeting, January 15, 2025.
So
Is there a
moved.
motion? Moved by Mr. Benahan. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Medina. I need to just debate on that. All in favor of
Aye.
approving the meeting minutes? Say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Staying.
Mr. Sokolovich abstains. Next item is special meeting, approval of the special meeting on January 29th, 2025.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Benahan. Second
I'll second.
by Mr. Sokolovich. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Two
Oh,
ayes.
sorry, I was,
Okay. Mr. Sokolovich abstains. Approval of meeting minutes from the special meeting of February 1st, 2025.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Benahan. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Medina. Any debate or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
staying.
Abstain from Mr. Sokolovich. The last one is approval of meeting minutes from the special meeting on February 11th, 2025.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Benahan. Seconded by Mr. Medina. Any debate? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Staying.
Mr. Sokolovich abstains. Mr. Woods joined online. All right. The next item is the chairperson's report. I think all I have to report is that we have agreed on some training dates for the state's mandated training that we're going through. We'll be meeting on March 31st for our second training, at which time we will go over a board self-evaluation that board member will complete by the week prior, the 24th. April 7th is the third meeting, April 21st, the 4th, May 19th, the fifth meeting, and the sixth meeting is June 16th. We'll report all our meetings to the state, and I'll follow up with them on attendance to the meetings and just the discussions that we've had. So last night's meeting was just an overview of the board's role and how to operate a meeting, and how to conduct a meeting. So we'll leave it there, I guess. Is there any questions for me about that, Mr. Sokolovich?
No, but I've got some questions about something else about the.
Go ahead.
Respectfully to Dr. Avery and the board. Superintendent search, it's been 75 days since Dr. Levy David has resigned, and we have not really started the search in force. It's not fair to Dr. Avery nor the community. It's not fair to the board, as we're under state statute. There are currently 21 districts looking for superintendents in the state of Connecticut right now. We need to get ahead of the game. We need to move fast. We've got our team in place. We already got the structure. All we need to do is meet, have them put out that application and get the process started. And Dr. Avery, of course, is welcome to apply, and this has no issues with him, but we need to get the community to decide because the community has not yet been able to weigh in on any of this yet. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. Finance Committee.
The finance committee did not meet in the interim. I believe Mr. Unquo is almost ready to present the budget. Is that correct, Dr. Avery?
That's correct.
Do you think he'll be ready this week? Because I'd like to schedule a meeting
This week,
next week.
next week, possibly, yes. If you can get a potential date that you're thinking about it, let's go ahead and see what we could get that on the books.
Okay, I'll send you the date after confirming with my committee members. Thank you.
Any questions or referrals for the Finance Committee? Instruction and Support Service Committee, Mr. Traber is away tonight, but he wanted me to let you all know that the next committee, I had it down, I'm sorry. Is it the 4th or the 6th? Thursday the 6th. He would have met this week, but he's away, so he pushed it to next week. Are there any referrals for him I can jot down and send to his way?
Yeah, I'll email him as well. The special ed report update, I know he was intending to put it on there, but I'd like to see which direction we're moving in, as far as all the metrics that we had, open complaints, compensatory hours owed, if we're moving up or down in that. That's all I got for that.
Okay. Just follow up with an email to him. All right, the next one is the Policy and Personnel Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Policy and personnel has not met as a thing, but we're looking forward right now. I sent the entire board 5 policies that I'm looking for everyone to read and possibly move to the full board with a suggestion to bypass the bylaws for the second read because they're all mandates from the state. And I'm looking to have that being presented in a special meeting, hopefully for March 4th, as I'm going to be working with Ms. Danielle.
Okay.
Any referrals?
March 4th, we have a information session, I believe, for
Do we?
facilities update, master.
Didn't have that on my calendar. I just checked, but okay.
That's gonna
I'll-
be presented by Dr. Avery today, right?
No problem.
Yeah.
I'll
He's in-
coordinate with Ms. Danielle and Dr. Avery and it's a special meeting. So once we lock it in, we'll make sure we don't bump into heads.
Next week sometime?
All right, Mr.
Any referrals?
Mr. Sokolovich?
Yeah, I just want to refer, I know we're under a lot of things going on right now, but we definitely got to get started with this committee and meeting and stop bumping up against so many things. Perhaps we're stretching ourselves a little too thin across the district, and we need to get our work done at the committee level. The state is watching us. One of the things that they brought up is policy. Not the amount of community forums we were having, but we need to get this work done.
Mhm.
We need to make sure, we need to check in with the committee chairs, make sure they don't have a meeting planned for the dates we're planning around. So we're not planning around multiple things that we have no control over. I mean,
Definitely. With that being said, also the regular meeting that is scheduled will be also on March 12th. So definitely there'll be a regular meeting, as mine is the second Wednesday of every month. So there will definitely be having one without a doubt, because no one should be stepping on those toes, on March 12th. A regular second Wednesday of the month.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
any further? Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
I want to make sure that the board is aware that the state, I'm going to talk a little bit about that in my superintendent report. there's a lot of different moving parts right now going on with meetings and forums, and the community is asking to be heard. So we need to be able to kind of, work with the community and have those touch points with them about things were happening. Sometimes, like tomorrow, I didn't have a meeting this week, but due to the fact that we had an issue at Tisdale, I needed to reach out and touch the community, so we ended up having a meeting. So there's going to be a lot of that happening. And yes, we've been meeting every single day, pretty much the last couple of weeks. And so we understand that as a staff, and we're going to try to accommodate and do the work. But the state is also wanting to have a little input in what we're doing and how we're doing it, and the frequency of that. So I have my first meeting with them on next Tuesday. They will be in the district. And then we're going to try to map things out a little bit clearer for you so that we can have a little bit of, when we're going to do things. And, we have 2 meetings a month. So we have a beginning of the month board meeting and a middle of the month board meeting, and then we're having to fit everything else in between that. So it's a juggling act. And so hopefully we're going to be able to, get some of these things off the plate so we're not meeting so frequently. But that's just part of right now we're going to have to do. And we're moving things, we're counseling things, we're modifying and rescheduling things. And that's part of the process right now, because we're working through trying to make sure that we work through these things. And they're also going to be having meetings that they're going to want it to engage not only my staff, but teachers and principals and parents. And so they're doing some things too, right alongside of what we're doing. So it's a juggling act, a balancing act. So we'll do our due diligence to help that out.
I will say that I want to make sure committee chairs make sure we're sticking to the dates of our committees. If there is a need to change, we'll change our dates no, we won't change our dates. Our dates are what they are. That's what I meant to say. If you a need to add additional dates because something urgent's coming up, we can accommodate that as well, but make sure we're sticking to the dates that we have set.
Additional meetings. Yeah, Dr. Avery, to that effect, some of these things could be combined. Like facilities review, information session for the public could be combined with the facilities meeting. We could have the facilities meeting. It doesn't have to be right here. It doesn't have to be just the facilities review for the committee. It could be a committee meeting, committee of the facilities review, and they review it in front of them and have our meeting afterwards on the same day. I mean, we got a lot of work to do. None of the facilities things can move through. None of the finance things can move through. None of the policies can move through. Nothing can move through without a board vote. So that actually.
That's planned. We're planning all,
Yeah.
that's all planned out for the next.
Alright, thank you.
We're gonna cover that. Any other questions for policy and personnel? All right, the facilities committee will meet March 5th. We're gonna have a nutrition update and some other things. So that's gonna be March 5th. Any referrals to that committee?
Madam Chair,
Yes, nutrition is gonna be on that.
Huh?
So we're gonna do nutrition report
no,
that
it's
day.
not nutrition this
Okay.
time. I don't know if it's you or Mr. Traver about Caribe. I know last year, we was approved and, to the board to give $100,000 to get a receipt from Mr. Torres' report. So I don't know if it's you or Mr.
Be
Traver.
Mr. Travers. committee.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I know he's not here, so just let him know. I'll email him. So,
Mhm.
all right, thank you.
All right. Any other referrals? All right. I don't have any updates for the CABE report. I guess, there is the Day of the Hill is just, the 11th,
Yes.
March 11th, it's a Tuesday. I believe it's a Tuesday. But you can sign up, board members sign up, Dr. Avery, if you want to sign up, you can also sign up. Just let Danielle know, because there is a fee attached, but she can get it waived for some folks.
Can members of the cabinet go to that as well?
I believe so. The staff can go too. Yeah. Oh, the 12th? Okay.
12th?
March 12th, you're right.
Okay.
Is that a Wednesday?
I'm sorry, Day in the Hill is also, yeah, it's 3/12 at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Bushnell, Auditorium.
So just send Danielle if you want to go, she'll sign you up.
Yeah,
And Dr. Reese staff.
yeah, definitely staff is welcome. It's also welcome if as many people as we could get behind Bridgeport,
Okay.
the better. There's power in numbers.
There's community people that would like to participate in that, so maybe we can put a blast out, Tim and Giancarlo, that the day that.
I think for the
Hill,
registrations for.
that we're-
staff.
Yeah, the register's for us, but then there's usually a march.
They're not, I
Yeah.
don't think they're doing the march.
They're
this
not doing
year.
the march this year? Okay, well.
I didn't see anything about it either, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not real sure.
scratch that until we find more information.
Okay. We'll come back. I'll give it to you.
But staff can still sign up.
The staff,
Yeah.
Olivia she's gonna take care of us.
Gotcha. All right. So moving on, Dr. Ravi's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to, the superintendent report, based on my, last night, we had a meeting with CAVE where the board had training. And one of the things I think we're going to do moving forward is really making sure that I give the board my superintendent report prior to the board meeting, in addition to really focusing in on, department updates, academic updates, district updates, and data-driven reports that's going to drive the conversation with the board. So starting next month, we're going to do my superintendent report a little bit different. And so I think it will be helpful for the board with the recommendation of CAVE. I think that's important that we take some of that learning that we get and that we apply it to some of the things that we're doing and maybe changing some of the practices that we do. So I'm going to, again, change my report in order to be a little bit more data-driven to make sure that we can recognize staff, recognize students within the superintendent report that will be a little bit more meaningful for the board. So I would love to do a couple of months and get some feedback from the board members moving forward. But for today, I'm going to just highlight a few things. Again, my executive, members of my executive team met with the Commissioner Russell Tucker and the new technical assistance team at the state capitol on Monday. It was really to really emphasize expectations moving forward, how they're going to engage with the district and administrative staff, and really making sure that the district understands that the state's going to be, an oversight of the things that are happening within the district. And so it's important for the community to be aware that she is getting ready to reach out to the Bridgeport community. She's going to be sending a letter out to the community. I think she said by Friday. There's something going to be sent out, through the district to get out to the families in the district, really making sure that they're clear about what's happening. The technical assistance team will be in the district next week, for the first initial meeting with myself and my staff. That's going to be March the 4th at 8 a.m. The other aspect of my report is that, the last couple of weeks, we've rolled out my 6-month plan for engagement with the community, and really trying to have a focal point of the things that we're going to be really focusing in on for the next 6 months. And this technical assistance team is going to help drive those focal areas and make them a little bit more robust. Being able to look at, the funding aspect of things. What are we doing with our money? What are some of the internal protocols that we're utilizing or not utilizing in the district to make sure that we hold ourselves and the state holding us accountable for the utilization of those dollars, that be grant funding or just operational dollars that we're using to help move this district forward, and really looking at the return on those investments. So as we're adding those dollars to the budget of the district, how does that relate to the progress that the kids are making within the district. So there's a true correlation there, and they really want us to take a deeper dive in understanding what that is. Again, the second area of focus of that 5-point plan of rebuilding a stronger Bridgeport talks about teachers and administrators and that relationships of what does it take for teachers and administrators to collaborate together at the campus level to impact student outcomes. And I think it's really time for our district to really look at that. Because it's the quality of the staff that we have in front of our kids that's going to maximize the growth academically for the children of Bridgeport Public Schools. Again, the third area is special education. That has been a huge void in the district. There's a lot of dollars going into special education across the district. And so we need to, again, looking at that return of the investment and how we're going to do business in the area of supporting special needs children throughout the district. And that even includes our bilingual children as well. I think we really need to kind of blend those two things together to work through. Number 4, we've been talking a little bit about that just at the beginning of this meeting, the transparency. The community is hungry for transparency and accountability and community involvement. And so I'm gonna do my due diligence to try to make sure that the community is involved with everything we do. They have a voice. And we have different avenues in order for us to take in that voice from the community moving forward as well. So that's going to be a work in progress. I think that's something we're going to have to try new things, do new things, and involve new people in this this new invigorating process of rebuilding a new, stronger Bridgeport. We have the necessary, components of it. We have the people that want to do it. We have the students that are eager to learn. We have administrators, teachers, community. So let's just now bring it all together and show the state of Connecticut that Bridgeport is ready to collaborate together to move the needle a little bit on what we do in this district. And then the last thing, number 5, is the academic achievement and student growth. That's what we're here for every day, is to really make sure that we showcase the things that we do. And if we take baby steps to that academic growth and student growth, I'm okay with that. But we have to keep showing growth and we have to unite it. And when we do not show growth, we need to make sure that we understand why we're not showing growth. And again, really working through that and understanding that a little bit as well. The third thing is myself and my fellow board members, we had an opportunity last week to testify regarding, advocating for additional dollars for the district. And there's going to be many, many more opportunities that we would love for more members. And there was a lot of community members as well. I was very pleased that a lot of community members, stayed up late hours to advocate for those funds and really put the voice of the importance of making sure that Bridgeport is not left behind when it comes to those additional dollars. And so the advocacy is one of the best things ever that we can do to kind of work from there. And the last thing on my report is, and I'm not gonna steal his thunder. So Mr. Garcia and his team is gonna talk a little bit about the facility study and how that was all orchestrated way before the state came into this district. We wanted to make sure that we did the business different from what we did last year. We rolled out a plan of doing some things with our facilities last year that the community did not receive very well. So me and my team we've stood very strongly with this about making sure the community is involved in this go around. And so we finished the reports. All the board members have a copy of the report. The city of Bridgeport has a copy of the report. The delegation has a copy of the report. Now it's time to engage. We have a couple of different things that we're gonna talk about. And I'm gonna let Mr. Garcia in his report give you a little bit detail about that and how that plan is gonna be rolled out. And then we have dates for community input. It's done strategically, guys. And it's time to be able to put it out there and let the community decide what goes on and take a deeper dive and deeper look into Bridgeport Public Schools facilities in order for them to have a little weigh in about what should happen, if anything, to facilities at Bridgeport Public Schools. So that's important. So that's the end of my report, and I'll take any questions.
Are there any questions, Mr. Sokolovic?
That's a couple of questions and a couple of comments. Very good report, Dr. Avery. As far as the state, Senator Austin said it better, said it best. You cannot maximize what you don't have. And I would like to point out to anybody from the state that's watching right now, how are we going to spend money we get? The first thing we're going to do is cover our deficit and try to maintain the services we have today. We cannot add one single service unless we get over $27 million. So let's make that clear. Let's make the narrative clear. We cannot add services. When you ask us where the money's going, the first $26 million is going to maintain what we have today. So let's keep that clear. That's the second thing I would like to make clear is that while the state is here in an advisory capacity, we as the board are still driving the decisions of this district. The state may have a suggestion for us that go contrary to what our community believes. We got 169 districts that the state oversees. We are like one of 6 or 7 urban districts. A lot of their values and things, they're directed towards the more wealthier districts because that's the state of Connecticut, mostly wealthy suburbs. And as I've spoken before about the tale of two Connecticut's, what works in Greenwich might not work in Bridgeport. We're here to carry out the educational mandates of the state, but we're also here to carry out those mandates as directed by the voters of the city of Bridgeport and the taxpayers that support this system. Thank you.
Mr. Woodson?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I just like to remind Joe that we're in front of the state, and we could be removed, for not doing our job. So I just want to remind Joe that. And
In charge.
I want to remind, I don't know if Dr. Avery is aware, but in the past we have listened to the community. Community told us to keep the schools open. We need the schools, and it's gotten us in a $40 million hole. So although I love to hear it from the community. I love to have them involved in making the decisions. They do pay taxes and stuff like that. They are part of the reason why we are where we are. So I just want Dr. Avery to hear that. And I would love to hear your report, Dr. Avery, to talk more about a detailed reports on the attendance, how we're doing with attendance, because that's been a major focus on from the state. How we're doing with our multilingual learners, because that was one of the focuses. How we're doing in reading, how we're doing in math, and how we're doing in special ed. I think those are big key elements of what we come here to do, and we need to be updated on that at least once a month. Thank you.
Dr. Avery?
Thank you, sir. I think you're spot on with that, and I think that's kind of the focal point that I'll be moving forward, really concentrating in on some of those things in order for us to be very transparent in our deficiencies and very transparent on the things we're doing very well. So thank you for that reminder. I took a lot of those same suggestions from the training last night. So I think that moving forward, you're going to see a lot more of that. I think that's important. Thank you.
Mr. Sokolovic?
Yeah, I just want to make a point of clarification about the numbers and the $40 million deficit. It was not because of not closing the schools. Even had we immediately closed all 6 schools, laid off every single employee, we would still be $16 million in debt after closing those 6 schools without adding a single program that was proposed at that time. That would be laying off everybody and mothballing all the schools.
All right, we're
That's
gonna
a
move, we're
$26
gonna
million.
move on, guys.
Well, no, it's a very important that these numbers are accurate and the narrative is accurate. This is not why we are in a deficit. We are in a deficit because of chronic underfunding by the state, who is trying to manage the money that we don't have, and local government who hasn't funded our schools.
Thank you, Mrs. Pollak. Anybody
Chair.
else for the superintendent's report?
Chair.
Mr. Van Hen.
First of all, before everything, thank you, Dr. Avery,
Yes, thank you.
for everything you do. It's not easy for a short time, a lot of things. People see what's going on in the front, but they don't know what's going on behind curtain. They don't know what's going on behind seat. They don't know what's going on behind doors. You know, as a board member, as a leader, as a base player, as a parent, I know what you do. And I challenge anyone, they say something negative from Dr. Avery. I challenge because I know what he's doing. Not including him, us as a board member, we working, all the cabinet is working. So the state and whoever think we're not doing nothing, welcome. We're gonna talk. We're gonna sit down. You wanna see what we're doing. Because this gentleman here in the cabinet, they working. And I'm sorry I'm talking like that because it make me upset because they think Bridgeport is like at the other time, like my colleague said. This is Bridgeport. We have almost 20,000 students, you know, and they give us less money. We got almost 5,000 staff. We got a big, huge, it's the big city we have in Connecticut. They think this is a Hampton, Waterbury, New Haven, stuff like that. No, they can handle, with little small, people. They don't. The city know that too. So I challenge anyone that come to say negative in about Bridgeport. But you guys, the people from the state that they know they're watching, good, very welcome. I'm very glad we got tight training last night. I love it. I enjoy it. And I hope you keep guys coming to help us. Do not come to say and point and you not come to help us. We need help. We're not saying we don't need help. Yes, we need help. But I say thank you, Dr. Avery, for everything you do. I know it's not easy. You have a lot of things in your plate and you try. And especially I like to say thank you when parents come to you and talk to you. You has your agenda so full that you twist it to see you can help that parent, to help that staff, to help that community. They don't see that. I see that. That's what I say. I challenge anyone, but I really appreciate that. But also, I'm very glad that if the state don't gonna comment when they want to know where's the money go, I'm waiting for you guys. We're gonna be here sitting for you. We're gonna give you everything you want. And trust me, when the board, Dr. Avery, or the cabinet, they will give you the information you need an extra. So you can know what we doing. But we need help. You're very welcome. We're not saying no. But I want people to understand that we're not playing. We're not here joking. Where's the money? I'm very glad you're gonna know where's the money. You're gonna see what each department for Bridgeport Public School they do. It's a lot of department we have. It's a lot of people here. There's a lot of staff. And I hope all the staff and all your cabinet, they give it the extra information to the state and they can see, let me see, I want to hear, they can handle. Because we can handle and we're not going to give up. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All right. Any further questions for Dr. Avery? All right, we're gonna move on to discussing a possible action on some contracts. The first one being Fairchild Wheeler's school HVAC project.
Good evening.
Hello.
So this evening, we're gonna ask for approval on several contracts. Jamie's gonna go through those contracts that were approved at committee, followed by a quick update on facilities master plan.
Good evening. We'll be presenting, I think, 6 projects tonight. All of these projects are capital funded, so they were approved by the city council and mayor. The first project, A, under 7, is Fairchild Wheeler School HVAC project. This is a project, we have about 400 coils, or some call them pipes, that occasionally or frequently now are leaking. It was a poor design. We have 400 of them. This contract is to replace 200 coils. They are $2,000 each. It's $200,000. The contractor is McKinney Mechanical. They are on the city all trades bid. And we also use them as a qualified purchase because they have been the contractor replacing these coils and they have the most experience at this school.
Individually. Or,
Individually, so it was 200,000 total.
yeah, Fairchild.
Yeah,
Microphone.
my questions are probably gonna be the same for all.
Microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Microphone.
Thank you, I apologize. My question is probably gonna be the same for everyone. This one's a qualified purchase with state vendor, that's fine. Are all the rest qualified purchases or did they go out to bid? And the lowest provider selected?
Each contract I'll go through, this one was the contractor that was on the all trades bid. And also we use them as a qualified purchase. So the way the all trades bid works is you have to go to each of the contractors and get a quote. But in this case, we only went to this contractor because they are the most experienced at this school with these types of pipes and coils.
Thank you.
Mr. Medina? No, I thought you had your hand. All right, is there a motion?
Motion to approve the HVAC contract for, I'm sorry.
Yes, Ms. Menace.
That's it.
Are any of these contracts associated with Energize Connecticut? Getting incentives or anything like that?
No, none of these are.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Medina?
You mentioned that there's 400 and we're only replacing 200.
Correct. We've replaced, when we found the issue, we replaced, I believe, 56 under ESSER funding. And then we requested each year, you'll see, in this year's capital, we requested another 100 to be replaced. So what we do is we try to get ahead of the problem, but we also use this purchase order, if it's approved, to work on any emergencies that pop up that we're not aware of, because they are hidden pipes, so you don't always know which one's going to.
So you mentioned, if I believe, and I quote, that it wasn't properly done before. So now these being replaced, are they using a different one or what?
Different
Is it type that
material.
Go ahead, George.
Yeah, so what we're doing now is, the design was Fairchild Wheeler was one of the buildings that was a LEED Gold, the first LEED Gold building in the city of Bridgeport, highly efficient. Issue is that some of the designs don't lend themselves well for this part of the region, that building being a chilled beam. So what we're doing is we're straight line piping these unions for better flow and less fault. So what ends up happening, it's a single point of failure for us currently, and this will reduce that for us. So last week, as a matter of fact, we had a pipe fail, cost us right around $10,000 to soak up glycol. We had to bring an outside agency in to clean up all of the glycol and all of the repairs, ceiling tiles, carpeting, everything else. So this is why we need to do this, because we're having leaks throughout the building. Our goal is that we're requesting $200,000 a year from the city council through capital, and over 5 years, we'll be able to remedy this whole entire issue.
Thank you.
All right, there's been a motion by Mr. Sokolovic.
It actually wasn't finished.
You didn't finish the
It was in the
motion?
middle.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the HVAC project as presented for Fairchild Wheeler campus.
And seconded by Mr. Medina. Any further debate?
I've got one
Go
more
ahead.
question. Mr. Medina's fault. He made me think of it. As far as the funding from the city capital plan, are we still going at the third round of HVAC from the state? Is there any monies available to us there that we're going after?
So the third round for the HVAC grant, I think the state is pulling that back. So there is currently no third round for HVAC. But, we're working closely with the CEA currently to see if there's any opportunity. There's around $50 million, I believe, or $150 million of HVAC money up at the state. So we're trying to find different ways to advocate to sort of bring some of those dollars in. We have shovel-ready projects. We've done a lot of analysis on what we have in the district. We've done a complete audit of all of our HVAC throughout the whole entire district. So we know, along with the facilities assessment study, we are primed and ready. So, let's advocate.
All right. Take a vote. All in favor to approve
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? That one passes. The next one is the JFK. Ms. Casimir has joined the meeting. Let the record reflect that. The next item is a JFK Administrative Building Elevator Project.
Currently, the JFK elevator in this area of the building, the admin area, is decommissioned. It is not working at the time. So we have a quote and contract for $301,800 to replace the elevator. It is through Kone Elevator. It includes the cost of bonds, this contract. Kone Elevator is the contractor that maintains all of the elevators in the district for us. And this is through a cooperative purchase. So we get one of the best prices going through this type of purchase.
Is there a motion? Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Cooperative purchase, I'm not sure I'm familiar with that, with that one. Can you explain what a cooperative purchase is?
So cooperative purchases are similar but different to state contracts. So sometimes we'll piggyback off of a state contract. This is piggybacking off of a cooperative purchase that might be nationwide, that Kone Elevator is on.
Okay, thank you.
This is through the Omnia cooperative purchase.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the contract to place the elevator at JFK campus as presented.
Is there a second? Any further debate on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That one passes. Next one is the Dunbar School Elevator Project.
This is the same contractor and same cooperative purchase. This project with the price of bonds included is $339,022, and it will be replacing a antiquated elevator at Dunbar School that we can no longer find parts for.
Any questions on that? Is there a motion?
Chair, make a motion to approve the contract as stated for the Dunbar School Elevator Project
Okay,
as presented.
the motion's been made by Mr. Medina. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Sakalovic. Any further discussions on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That one passes. Discovery School Playground Project.
This project and the one after it, the JFK Campus Playground Project, are both, we're using the contractor Compan, and they are also on a cooperative purchase. They are a vendor that the city and the district has used in the past. We have also used other vendors on this cooperative and on the state contract. So we try to give opportunities to different vendors, depending on the type of playground we are looking for at the school. So Discovery School Playground Project is actually an outdoor educational classroom. It is $84,358. That includes the cost of bonds. This is in a new area because the playground that is there now is a safety issue with the trees, the limbs falling, and the location it's in.
Any questions, Mr.
Madam
Medina?
Chair. Yes. So if I'm understanding what you just mentioned is that that playground is going to be eliminated and then this classroom is going to take its place?
I believe so.
Yeah, so the current outdoor classroom will be eliminated and this new will be put in a different location, but that area will be cleared out from the current where
Okay, so
where
it's not
the outdoor
really-
classroom is currently.
So it's not a playground in that site, there's another classroom.
Outdoor classroom, yes.
Got you.
So there's a playscape and then the outdoor classroom.
Mr. Sakalovic?
Yes, Discovery's only, it's one of our newer buildings. Do all of our buildings have an outdoor space or play space or outdoor classrooms that could have them? or redoing Discovery.
So,
I'm not
when
trying to pick on Discovery.
no, I
I'm
get
trying
it.
to talk
But
about
when
it.
we say new schools, they're 13 years old. So, there's that. They are the newest schools that we have, but they are starting to get dated. So there are needs, this being one of them. We have outdoor classrooms at Blackham, High Horizons, both the JFK campus has two, Marin has one, and Blackham has one in the courtyard. And Discovery Ed, highly used. They schedule them because they're so used. We're trying to get children outside, different environment to learn. But it's a need at Discovery due to the safety issues.
Thank you.
Is there a motion? I'll make the motion for Discovery, to approve the contract for Discovery School Playground. Is there a second?
So move.
Seconded by Mr. Benahan. Is there any further debate on it? Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
I'm gonna vote no with the following explanation. Yeah, I think we've got more pressing needs than an outdoor classroom, so I'm just gonna vote no, but congratulations to Discovery for getting it. I don't begrudge you for it.
Any abstentions? All right, that one passes. Next one is the JFK Campus Playground Project.
So this playground is actually adding on to an existing antiquated playground. There's only a few structures out there now. So what we will do is we will put the rubber surfacing under those older structures to keep it safe. And then we will add a playground next to the older playground. It is $237,741, and that includes the cost of bonds.
Any questions on the JFK Campus Playground? Is there a motion? Is
Motion to approve the JFK Campus Playgrounds.
there a second? Been moved by Mr. Kolovich, seconded by Mr. Medina. Any further debate? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? That one passes. Next one is the Marin School Ceiling Tile Project.
I will apologize in advance for bringing this late to your attention. We just had the scope review meeting with the lowest bidder. And we wanted to be sure that that was the contractor we were moving forward with before we presented it. But we also wanted to present it tonight because the contractor, once we get all the paperwork in, can complete the project in the week of April break. So this project is the Marin School ceiling tiles. They will be removing the old tiles, cleaning the grids, and then replacing them with new tiles on the first floor, second floor, and cafeteria. This went out to bid using the new bidding portal through the city purchasing department called OpenGov. We used to use BigSync, now we use OpenGov. We required a mandatory walkthrough for this prior to bidding, so we had 7 contractors through OpenGov come to the walkthrough, and 2 of those contractors responded. We did a scope review meeting with the lowest, most responsible contractor, and their bid came in at $98,690. This is a new contractor to our department. We haven't used them before, but they've been used in other cities, such as the New Haven School District throughout Connecticut. Their name is McGilla Construction. And they are a minority contractor certified through the state.
Are there any questions on this one? Mr. Skolovich?
No.
Okay. You waiting there. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the ceiling tile project for Marin as presented.
Is there a second?
So move.
Seconded by Mr. Benahan. Is there any further debate on this one?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can I at request of you guys, when those projects are completed, if you can kind of do either a photo op of what that is and bring that back to the board and to the community to see the finished product, the elevators, the playground, I mean, all that. I'd love to kind of see the ceiling tiles, completion
Absolutely.
as well at Marin.
Yep, so typically what we do on our shutdowns, we take advantage of shutdowns in the summers. You know, we have a very finite window to get a lot of projects done. If you go on our website currently, we have PowerPoints of all the projects that we've done and all the shutdowns. This will follow suit, and we'll bring this back to the board through the facilities committee to share with everyone.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take a vote. All in favor to approve the Marin School ceiling tile, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? That one passes. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
Mr. Garcia, the facilities master plan update.
Good evening. So I'm here with a very brief update on the facilities plan because I want to take the thunder away from Thursday night. We're excited to be at the point we are to finally have completed this long journey that we've been on. Many of you know we've been chasing after trying to get this done for some time, years. So here we are, finally. I want to start by thanking the staff and everyone that was part of this journey. It was a lot of work that went into this. Data management has done a tremendous job of making sure we had all of the data, IT. I mean, the list goes on and on. Teachers, principals, board members. We've all worked together. We've come together as one big family to achieve this monumental goal.
And George, I'm gonna interrupt
yes.
you because you're
So here we are, so the 21st, everyone's given the full report. The 24th, Thursday evening, there'll be a forum where this information will go out to everyone. So everyone's on the same page in terms of where we are, in terms of the facilities assessment study, the demographic study, which compiled together is the facilities master plan. This is the data that we really need to start making informed decisions for this district on how we move forward. Not only on our facilities, we see that number 700 million and, you sit there, so how are we going to get there? We're going to get there. We're going to get there strategically, working together as a team, making sure that the community is involved because they're a catalyst to all of this, and making sure that everyone understands where our pinch points are and where we need to make those strategic investments. We've started that process through ESSER. We've also done that through capital. We've also done that through grants. So we have a foundation that we haven't had in the past. The projects that we're talking about, for us to be able to start talking about playgrounds, ceiling tiles, and direct piping at JFK, we were struggling to get to that point, but as we start to build out and we're able to show that return on investment on the investments made in this district, it's going to be easier for us to go ahead and access the dollars we truly need. So what does the future look like for us with the facilities master plan? Thursday night is the forum to roll this information out. The 4th, we'll be coming back to you with the recommendations that were compiled as part of this. The recommendations are strategic in nature and exactly what this district needs. There's the short term, there's the long term. There's a lot of decisions that have to be made. We've used thought exchange to make sure that we've captured the voice of the community, the voice of board members, the voice of everyone that's Bridgeport. So we're excited about that. We're going to continue to use that as part of the process. And then once we get that recommendation set out to you guys, we're going to get into the community. March 31st is our first. April 2nd and April 3rd are all of our dates for us to get out into the community to roll this information out. So, Dr. Avery?
I want to make sure we go back because after March 4th meetings, we're going to be engaging each entity. The Board of Trustees will have a meeting where they have direct contact with the third-party vendors to really ask your deeper questions that you really have before we go to the community. We'll do that same thing with the city council. We'll go to one of their meetings and let them kind of dive into the data, and then also with the delegate. So again, it's just really trying to make sure that we maximize the thoughts of the three entities that really is going to drive the next generation of facility, management, look at, rebuild new facilities in Bridgeport. So, and then we're taking it once all three entities have that information, then we're going to be out in the community. We're going to engage the community with everything, questions they may have, looking at, the internal workings of this document, and really make sure. So when this board decides to do whatever they decide to do, then they're going to have a very informed analysis of what should be happening based on the community's decision. But remember, the board has the ultimate decision-making authority to decide what happens to the facilities in this district. The 9 board members. So again, we just want to make sure that everybody, if we do this as a community, guys, it's going to be received as a community effort. And everybody's going to be happy because it's important. Because when you talk about academic improvement, and if you don't have sound facilities where kids and staff are working, you're not going to see the progress that you're going to see where everybody else around us, and a lot of the board members can attest to this. Walking into a nearby town in their facilities, I was blown away. And compared to what we have, our kids deserve that too. And that's what we have to keep at the forefront as we experience with this new facility study. It's done differently, and it's done differently strategically. The team has put a lot of effort into this, and we want to make sure that we engage everybody that we put forth this data in order for you to have an informed conversation and a voice. I think that's important as well. So, and George, you and PJ, I mean, you've orchestrated all of that. We've had long days, long nights. We've had conversations where we agreed to disagree, and we're here. And I know I'm very proud. I know you guys are very proud. We talked about that the other day, and I'm hoping the board's going to be proud as they roll it out and understand it as well. Board, it's a lot of information.
Yes.
It's a lot of documents, so you gotta be able to understand it and ask the questions. And you're not gonna be able to ask all the questions, but the questions that you ask, another board member is gonna be thinking the same thing, but you may ask it. And the questions that they ask, you may be thinking the same thing, but didn't know how to ask the question. So it's I think we're in a good spot. I think it's a great opportunity for us. So let's embrace it.
Yep. And one of the things we really challenged each other, as a cabinet, as a team, we pushed and we really pushed each other and challenged the theories behind what we've been able to accomplish through this data set. And we're excited to roll it out, So with that said, I'll take any questions.
I also want to add that after the community forums, this will come back before the board.
Yep.
So we're not going to make any plans on changes to capital plans without the board's vote on that before it goes to the city for whatever recommendations are made. And so the board will have that the first week of April. We had it tentatively scheduled for the 7th, and I realized we added a special meeting for our training on the 7th. So we're going to make it that work happen that week, but we'll figure out a date where we can, after getting all the information that we have, plus the community input, where the board will have the final say and vote on whatever recommendations are made. So questions, Mr. Sokolovic?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Garcia, how are you? Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how this all feeds into the finance piece and the operating budget, because obviously if we gotta access some building, it's gonna feed into the operating budget. It's all a very big holistic thing dancing around in the head. So we're gonna have to make some moves that the community may not like, and it's good that we're getting out there to the community. At the same time, we gotta be mindful of all these time pressures, because this fiscal year is coming to a close, and we're going into the next fiscal year, and we're setting our budget. And anyway, I'm just rambling. I'm sorry. It's just like it's a lot that we got to do.
Going to be a lot of decisions that have to be made. There's a lot of things going on at the state, also the state level pre-K and, HVAC dollars up there. There's a lot of things that, we're going to want to start to look at in a different way. It's going to take the board, the council, the delegation, the community, the staff, we all have to come together. The good thing is that we're coming together at a point where we have the data and the facts behind us. That's something that we're always trying to create. But now we have a third party that's come in to verify all of those things and give you a clear picture, because it's not just facilities condition assessments. I mean, we're talking about what programs you have in each building, what classrooms those programs are, that, your boundaries, and how being smart about how we shift our boundaries and we can sort of balance schools better. I mean, this is the roadmap for us, and working together as a team, I think we are in the most advantageous position we've been in a very long time as a district.
Mr. Woodson?
I just want to make the comment that I hope that you know I'm hoping, but I know for myself that I'm going to be making my decision from listening to the experts and from listening to the data and whatever the data says. My decisions won't be made from the feelings, of what how people feel about a school or maybe feel about certain teachers and stuff like that. We have to get past that. We have to know that we're making the best decisions for our kids' health. Nobody can learn, around hazardous conditions. It's hard. It makes it harder for kids, especially if somebody's trying to with a brain developing. You're leaving. I'm not going to get into. I'm not a doctor, but it's just hard for a brain developing to try to thrive in an environment that's not so safe. So I hope we're just making our decisions off data and listening to experts. Thank you.
Mr. Medina, did you have your hand?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I just wanted to thank again the staff for doing this work. Like Mr. Garcia's, pretty much was born and raised in Bridgeport like myself. We went to school together, but to know that we're in this point and we just went through a meeting and we were talking about blueprint. And this is the blueprint that they were talking about, rebuilding this district as a whole. So every single one of our board members are going to listen to the community, are going to listen, like Mr. Woodson said, to the experts and everything. And we have data that now the state, our delegates, the state, the board, the state board, everybody's going to see that, and I will welcome Dr. Avery having them go visit our neighboring town school one day, bring them by there and show them the difference of what it is. And, we have an opportunity right now to put a back foot forward with this data, with this information. And I think it would, we need to go to the state right away to show these things, because if we wait for them to be the last, the delegates, they're not going to be able to really have a compassionate overview on what really it is our district has been dealing with. I got people when I went out to canvas and to visit our district, and I got people moving here from New York and saying, my daughter just went to, a school and she's coming up and her shirt is yellow. That's how much she was sweating inside the school. It was a white shirt, and they were wondering why we don't have ACs in all our schools. Why don't we have this, that? And, but yet other people were talking about swimming pools in our schools where it has nothing to do with the education standards. So I appreciate this, and I'm going to be looking at it, but this is our best foot forward. And I appreciate you guys, everyone that fought and made this possible, because now we're going to be able to make some big decisions that is going to be an outcome for my grandkids. So I appreciate everybody.
Ms. Casimir?
I agree with everything that everyone just said. I want to thank Mr. Garcia. I want to thank Mr. Carafa. I want to thank everyone, every single department, and their support staff, all of their support staff. So I just wanted to say how much I appreciate it. And, like Mr. Woodson said, thinking about from the smallest preschoolers, their brain development, all the way up, to our seniors. This is something that has been long overdue. I'm very, very excited about reading it, but I'm also very ready to make the hard decisions that are going to have to be made as a result of these experts and what they have to say. So I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I'm ready to make the decisions that we need to make for these kids. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Benahan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Garcia, well, I don't know what else to tell you to say. I don't know how many times I have to say thank you, and you know that. But I know that years before we had something like that, but people, they don't know what we do. Now the people, they talk at what Bridgeport they do, we're going to show them what you guys do, what we all do. It's a team, it's not easy, especially you doing an amazing job day and night, extra hours with your team, your department, everyone. As you say, people say yes, you say no, but at the end of the day, we need to get a solution to see what what we're gonna do. But I know it's not easy what you're going through, but now you show him to the people, the community, everybody from Hartford, whoever gonna come, what you guys do. Sometimes, yeah, we got people, they're pathetic, they asking questions, they know the answer, but they want to use something pathetic, and I can say it. But sometimes that's why I say you have the support, because you guys, all of you, they're not by yourself. Yeah, I would say thank you for everything. Thank you, and Mr. PJ. But something, I laugh because I can't wait the people from Hartford come and see what you guys all do. I'm telling you, I can't wait because I'm gonna say 3 words as my Mr. Resto said. I told you. That's the 3 words I'm gonna tell them. They think we play, we're gonna show them, because made me upset and made me angry. They think we playing, like we're not working. They don't see our city is so big. They don't see how everything you do. I'm witness. As I said before, I challenge anyone. After you guys amazing job you do. But you guys, as I was saying in English and Spanish, juntos hacemos la diferencia. Let's meet together, we can make the difference. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Thank you, PJ. Thank you for all your department and everything you do.
Thank you.
You always got my support.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
Mr. Sakalovic.
Thank you. Yes, I think everybody on this board wants our kids to have a safe environment, and they deserve a safe environment. I think we're all ready to make the hard decisions. And I believe we're ready to show the state that Bridgeport is resilient, that we can make the hard decisions, that we can persevere through trials and tribulations. But one day, Bridgeport is going to show them we shouldn't have to. We should not have to be dealing with dilapidated buildings. Nobody has touched up onto how our buildings got dilapidated in the first place. It's through a lack of funding. It's not through a lack of facilities input, not a lack of facilities work. It's facilities cannot work without money. And this state needs to fund our schools and fund our districts in particular. One day Bridgeport's going to wake up and we're going to start electing officials who fund our schools properly, and let's Bridgeport get the same schools as Greenwich, the same schools as Westport that we walked through. Enough is enough, Bridgeport. Wake up. You can change this yourselves. Thank you.
Further questions for Mr. Garcia?
Not a question, Madam Chair, but a statement for everybody, especially Mr. Carafa and George and their team. And it reminds me of a proverb which states, where there is no vision, the people perish. And you guys have worked days, nights, weekends because of the vision you guys have for our district. And I just want to say thank you because, we lack, no longer we're going to have lacking of clear goals, directions, purpose, but we have it now because of the work that you guys finally brought before us and going to be bringing forward to the community, everybody. But we're going to rebuild Bridgeport for a better Bridgeport. And this is where it starts. When they talk about pre-K and first graders and second graders and third graders, once we hit them and elevate them, Bridgeport has a better future. And we're going to show them through this that, yes, we shouldn't have been in this position to begin with. Bridgeport is the biggest city, and we should have been elevated above all other towns because we deserve it. And we've been working at it for 5-6 years, me and my team and friends and family. My daughters have been waiting for the state to wake up. They're already in college, but now we're going to be able to do it for our next generation. So I thank you again. Thank you for your vision.
Appreciate that.
Dr. Avery.
For me, I would be remiss if I wasn't able to, to get this whole project started. I think I want to extend a huge thank you to the city of Bridgeport and Mayor Ganem for providing the funding to make this happen. Again, I think this should be the beginning for a stronger relationship between the Bridgeport Public Schools and the city of Bridgeport. When you start looking at the need, I'm hoping that when you pull it back and you see what's there, there's going to be a better advocation for providing additional dollars. And so that is going to be the ask moving forward in order to right size what our children of Bridgeport Public Schools are needing. And so, again, I thank them very much for getting this process started. And now it's time for us to rally together to be able to get things. And I know the delegate is ready for us to, pick their brains a little bit about additional state dollars that they can advocate for. And we're going to do that with this plan as well. And I think it's time for the city of Bridgeport to really kind of look at what have we done in the past and what can we do for the future. And I think that's my hope as well. And so I wanted to publicly put that out there to be able to hopefully engage that conversation deeper for the benefit of the children of Bridgeport Public Schools. Thank you.
Any further questions? Oh, no. All right, the last item is adjourning. Oh, okay, go ahead.
So I have a few questions and I'm still not together with the agenda or which spot I should put what. But I did want to reiterate and thank Public Facilities for all your help. Like that huge document, it's no small feat. So I really wanted to thank you for that because ultimately that is what we're going to lean on when we have to make cuts and obviously engage the community and such. So thank you for all that hard work.
Thank you.
Some of the other comments I have are kind of outliers, so I'm not 100% sure where to put them. So two things, and I'll be super quick. Yesterday during the CAPE report, we were talking about goals and setting objectives for the board. So I wanted to work collectively with my board members to start establishing that. I know that they said, oh, we're going to update the bylaws, but it can take up to 3 years. That seems like a long time. And I feel like we need something in the short term. Something that as a board we can have even as a visual once we establish it. This is our goals. This is what every day, every time we go into a meeting, this is what our objective and our goal should be. Obviously, the first thing that I'm thinking of, student achievement, all those type of things. I'm proposing that we develop that together. That's the first item. And then the second item that came out of the last meeting was a parent was very upset because we all voted on these contracts to pay them out, but they didn't understand why. And I realized we were in executive session. That's a confidential conversation. But I'm wondering if on a high level, not releasing any confidential information, if we can indicate why we voted yes to basically help parents and others determine why we voted in that manner. As a parent myself, I would have been very upset at that as well, because I would have thought, we don't have enough money or whatnot for a teacher, but here we are paying out contracts that were voided. So a simple explanation, high level, not releasing confidential information, I think moving forward would be helpful. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Yeah. Any further?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I don't know if I can do it over the point, prefer the point privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Right. First of all, I want to say thank you to Dr. Avery, Ms. Perez, Mr. Medina, Mr. Trevor, and Mr. Sugaliff. You guys talk with Hartford about the budget. I really appreciate that, and I know a lot of parents, a lot of leaders did that, to talk about, what's going on in Bridgeport. Especially, I was in shock that state senator, she talked amazing message about Bridgeport. And everybody know that, everybody see that, and I really sent a message. She sent me a message back to say, you're very welcome, but it's not fair that people say, because Bridgeport is one of the large city and they don't fund the way it's supposed to be. Her message was very clear, and I really appreciate that. And also for finish, Madam Chair, I have to say, thank you. And it was amazing today. Dunbar School did a Black History Month. The students and parents, was full of parents. It was very nice. So, we're very good. I was very proud to see a lot of parents, and the staff did an amazing job. So I want to say that for the record. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Moved by Mr. Benningham, seconded by Mr. Medina. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Me.
Okay. Adjourned at 7:40.